Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
Bandwidth for iPad today is provided by CacheFly at CacheFly.com.
Coming up, be more social. That's an order. We have apps that'll help make it fun.
Plus,
too.
they're cranking out iPads in Brazil, bags that don't make you look like a bike messenger, and watch out with your iPad on the subway.
All that and the cutest little robot game you'll ever see. It will melt your cold black heart, I promise, on iPad today.
iPad Today is brought to you by Go to My PC. Download the free Go to My PC app and work from anywhere, anytime, right from your iPad. And enter to win a free iPad 2 by sending a tweet with the hashtag #iPadTodayFree now through September 20th. Visit GoToMyPC.com for your free 30-day trial, promo code iPad. And by Slingbox, which just turned your iPad into a television. Slingbox introduces their new iPad app, so now you can watch your home TV on your iPad anywhere you take it. Check it out at Best Buy or slingbox.com. As Boogie says...
Watch where you swipe.
As Boogie says, this show is so awkward, I love it.
Me too.
Yeah, it is an awkward show.
That's one of the greatest compliments anyone's ever paid us.
Yeah, it's because Sarah and I have no chemistry.
No.
It just makes it weird.
I don't actually know you.
Who are you?
Not sure why.
Who are you and why are you sitting there?
Yes.
By the way,
this man is back.
I've got Evis on my shirt.
Is that who that is?
Yeah. Do you remember this from the screensavers? Because I used to wear this on the screensavers.
Well, I remember a lot of the shirts that you still wear from the screensavers.
All the shirts, everything. They're still back there.
In
even
fact,
the shoes.
Someone mentioned our short-lived makeup room the other day, and I said, "What makeup room?" And they said, "Well, it was a makeup room for like a week. Now it's just Leo's wardrobe room."
I took it
that
over.
That sounds familiar too.
No, you know what happened? It was we had a nice little desk in there. We still have a mirror, but we took the desk out because it's part of a set now. So we need a vanity. And I think since you're a woman, you should help us design that. I think you're the only female staff announcer, actually, here at the Twit.
I'm also the person who cares the least about my own wardrobe or anyone else's.
No, but you always look fantastic.
Well,
Do you ever
must
think
like my pajamas.
that I wore... You're wearing jammies?
Well,
do you?
It's pretty close.
Do you ever think? Because I think this is not unusual in women in television. Oh, I wore that outfit on iPad Today once before. I can't wear it again.
Yes, I think that's very common. I also think that's silly. I think that if you have a big budget and you're at a TV station, you have a wardrobe department. I have been there. They have ideas like, you know, if you wear the same shirt, then you have to layer it with a different scarf or crazy earrings so it doesn't look like the same thing.
On Tech TV, they take a picture in the early days. Then we kind of stopped doing anything.
Oh, yeah.
But they took a picture of what you wore, and it was in a book.
Right.
So you say, oh, yeah, February 23rd, I wear this top, so I have to wear another top with a scarf or whatever. Crazy.
It's kind of fun because you're like, wow, it's like the dress-up game that I could never play at home because who has the time, even if you had the money to shop that much. But I also think it's it's not very authentic. And here we are being ourselves. This is actually, you know, this is a shirt I've had for 5 years.
I wear this.
I
walk in on off the street like this. This is exactly how I look if you see me on the street.
Yeah.
Now, the reason we don't have time for wardrobe anymore is because they're playing too many gosh darn social apps on our iPad. That's why.
You know,
I submit to you, gentlemen of the jury.
Social apps are crazy. Now, of course, Amber and I do a whole show on. Called The Social Hour.
Let's give it a plug.
Mondays.
It's a great show every Monday.
It's a great show.
11
a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. It's
1800 UTC. Great show.
Amber is, you know what I try to do sometimes? I try to rile her up, and it's impossible.
Yeah.
She's unrileable.
She is. She's Canadian, that's why.
Yeah, that's part of it.
They don't get angry.
Right.
They get even.
Yeah, I think. Are you on some sort of anti-anxiety life drug?
We've just learned that this is the only show in the entire world that is hosted by two women with elf ears.
We've never met each other.
Amber.
Now, how nuts is that?
To show you her ears, because she has the same problem you do.
We'll have a Monday elf ear off. So we talk about a lot of social stories on that show, but we cover apps occasionally because we don't want it to be an all-app show either. And, you know, the only real social apps that I'm familiar with are iOS social apps.
This is the apps. This is
the
app
why
show. This is the app show.
This is the app show. And this is when social apps really come into play. And we haven't really talked about this in a while. And I think part of it is because we think, you know, social show. But Dag nabbit, it's time. The first one is really, it's so obvious that you're going to say, wait a second, they didn't already have an app? Google just released the Blogger app for iOS.
They didn't have an app?
Android had an app for about 6 months now.
Huh.
But iOS, no. And it's not even really iPad enabled. It's iOS, so it's designed to work for your phone or your iPad, and it works just fine. Again, this is mostly text type of stuff, but the idea is you publish posts or you save drafts, or you can access drafts, which is nice and important, from either your computer or a different mobile device. So, if you started somewhere.
I presume that this worked all right in Safari, which is why they didn't feel too obligated to create an app, right? You could probably post on Blogger from Safari.
Yeah, but then it'll switch you over to their mobile version, which is weird. So this is actually better. So this is something that I, worked on a little earlier. It was just a silly little type thing. So if I wanted to see what it looks like on the web.
That's nice.
This is iosrocks.blogspot.com. This is my cool new blog.
That you just created moments ago.
Yeah, well, it was earlier.
Yeah.
But, you write a little something. This is all what I composed within the app. So it's the type of thing, and this really applies to many mobile blogging apps, is for the most part, it's you want to jot some stuff down and maybe clean it up later when you have a little bit more time and you're at your computer, or throw in some photos. I mean, it doesn't mean you can't design a really nice-looking post on the fly.
Your blog is Squarespace, and Squarespace does have a very nice iPad app that makes it very easy to post.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but if you're a Blogger user and for whatever reason you're not planning on leaving, you might as well get this. It also has nice Google +1 buttons and
you know who else
quick
doesn't
Facebook
have an
Twitter
iPad
links.
app, and I was kind of surprised, is Tumblr. They have an iPhone app. But then there are third-party apps. There are quite a few third-party apps for Tumblr.
Yeah, in fact, we had the creator of Tumblroo on the show way back in the early days of iPad Today. But no, Tumblr...
That would be a natural, I think, for an iPad.
It's actually made me lose a little bit of interest in Tumblr.
Because you can't do it?
I use my iPad so often, and I just... Their mobile web experience is fine, but an app would be nice. What is great, and I've been trying to get these guys on the Social Hour, actually, and they've been really hard to track down because they're like the cool new stars of the internet are the guys who made Turntable FM.
Love
that. Turntable.
Love it.
In the last week, Turntable also went mobile. So we have a nice iOS. Again, keyword iOS, if you want to call iOS a word, rather than iPad.
The idea of Turntable is that you are a DJ in a virtual space.
That's right.
And you're playing music. These are all rooms. Mashup.fm, coding, soundtrack, dubstep.
And
hey, you like Bass Nectar?
It tells you how many people are in the room, which it determines a few things. By the way, you log in with your Facebook account. So if you have a Facebook account, you can get into Turntable, no problem. That's actually the only way that you can register right now. So you're yourself. Then you create an avatar. And what's interesting is that, okay, let's just go into Folking Indie, the B-52s. Why not? Okay. So we've got a handful of people in the room.
This is very much like the web interface.
Yeah, but this is like, I don't know, this is so much more fun. Because I feel like I'm...
Yeah.
It's
you see,
more
you can
like
vote.
a DJ
You can
type
vote
of
the song up or down.
Once it loads,
many of us have music on our
Turntable.
iPad, so it wouldn't be such a big deal to do this. Sometimes you need the music on the iPad, I guess, right? Because you need to be able to play it.
Yeah, exactly. So these are the people who are all holding court right now.
They're DJs.
Yeah, they're the DJs. The one that's in the spotlight is actually the one that's playing the song right now.
Oh, I wonder now.
And
I see that you get an Apple
people bopping their heads whether they've thought it was awesome or lame.
Isn't that cute?
And if you get enough lames, it goes to the next DJ.
You are outta
You
here.
basically get vetoed, which is really embarrassing.
Do you have an iOS logo on your laptop? Because I see Windows and Apple.
Well, I'm not DJing.
I know you should. That's cool.
But yeah, that's a really good question.
Yeah, I wonder.
I'm not sure. So you can hop into a variety of different rooms. When the rooms get really crowded, they can be fun, but it's almost impossible. So the idea is like you're like, okay, well, let's say I get into a room. You know, I really love the Avett Brothers, and this is my genre. I'm into it. How do I get into the DJ booth? Like, there's a good chance that a lot of these people are on deck. So you have to, and sometimes
it's
there's
very crowded in there.
There's also there's like unspoken rules. Well, they're spoken, but they're not necessarily official. This is the chat
You'd
area.
be better off if they had a Barry Manilow room. You could probably get right onto the turntables.
Right? Yeah. So that's
Hey.
me saying hey.
Oh, that's
and
good.
If I was just hanging out in here, that hey appeared
Twit.
above my
See?
head.
Somebody said, hey, Twit.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are following us along. Great. So there is some chat features going along. There was actually a dubstep room. Yes, I was in a dubstep room last night where somebody left sort of abruptly. You know, they had to, I don't know, go make dinner or whatever. So I jumped right in and someone said, hey, no. There's like 5 people ahead of you in the queue.
Oh.
Even though technically I could take that
So
spot.
you have to honor the queue.
Well, I think it depends on the room. Like, they were just like, you're a jerk. You just ran in here and ran up to the DJ
Right.
booth because you saw an opening. So what they might have done at that point is, like, voted down all my songs. So I didn't have a very good time.
Oh, boy.
So you have to, it's kind of silly, but it's really
I
fun.
think it's good. There's a culture. That's great.
And by the way, you don't have to choose any of these rooms. You can
Make your own.
make your own. Exactly.
This is neat because it's kind of like Pandora or like having a streaming radio station of songs, but they're real humans choosing the songs. So as long as they stay true to the genre of the room, I find they often don't. You know, somebody said that everything turns into dubstep. I think it was Ohm Malik says everything becomes dubstep eventually in
Please.
in a turntable FM room. But this is, it's really, I don't know how they're staying in business because I would think the music industry would say, hey, you know, you're playing these songs, but it seems to work. It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
So there's our Twit room. I'm a lonely little DJ. It's like the saddest little DJ experience ever.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
Are you going to choose a song?
Well, I don't actually even have really any music on this iPad, so I don't know how I would.
You're going to be a really
There
crappy
should-
DJ,
there's-
actually. If
There
you don't-
should be a.
You didn't bring any of your own, huh?
Yeah, I guess not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something I have to load up beforehand. Anyway, yeah, if you want to go into the Twit room and go nuts, please do. This is Turntable FM. It is totally free. It is really fun. It's like Leo said, it's really not a lot different than the web experience.
Oh, but much more convenient because you got it on your iPad. You can bring it to the kitchen when you have to go.
Exactly. Well, and again, a lot of Turntable got really popular for, I would say, 3 weeks. Everybody had like, it's the Revision 3 turntable room. We had a Twit turntable room.
It was fun, and then we got bored.
It was fun, and then you kind of just
Too much
forget
work.
about it. Like, it's just, I had said to you, like, I've already forgotten.
I got something for you.
Okay.
This was created in Berlin, so you know it's hot. A site called Amen, A-M-E-N. You go to getamen.com. You have to get an invite, but if you've got an invite, they also have a beta of their iOS app. Now, it's an iPhone app, but as you can see, it works just fine, as always, on an iPad. And this is how it works. This is kind of an interesting social idea. So here's the proposition. Celine Dion is the worst musical artist ever. You agree? Say amen. If you would disagree, say, and you disagree, don't you?
Yes.
Say hell no.
But
then actually the worst musical artist ever is Katy
Yes.
Perry, right?
Yeah.
So it's searching. There's Katy Perry.
Right.
So I'll tap Katy Perry.
She's one of them. She's
And
a
now
current bad
it'll
bitch.
say Leo Laporte disputed Florian Weber. He says Katy Perry is the worst musical artist ever, not Celine Dion.
Yeah.
So this is a very strange.
Anybody seen Titanic? Come on.
Mint is the
You
best.
can't diss Dion.
How about this? Mint is the best tea ever, not Earl Grey. You agree with that?
I do not agree with
Well,
that.
what? Hell no. What is
Guess
the best
doesn't
tea
have
ever?
Caffeine.
Green
Mint tea.
Well, what kind do you like?
Green. I like sencha.
Sencha. That's good. I like sencha too, so I'm going to put that in. Sencha
That's selenium tea. There you go.
tea. And see, it knows it's tea, by the way.
That's awesome.
So you could do it with people. You could do it with places.
I know Sean Bonner. That's fine.
Yeah, Sean's great. So do you have a strong opinion about a person, place, or thing? Pick something. By the way, I should say, if you say places, somebody's already done this. If you pick places, it'll pick places that are nearby. I'm going to say
you
I'm
write
into
that?
No, I'm going to say
wrote
I'm into that.
that?
Somebody else wrote it. But watch,
Well,
I can
you should
choose. These are
agree.
other things that are nearby because it knows our location. So it's kind of a little bit like a recommendation engine. And then if you don't want to say working at a startup, you could say inventing the next Facebook work. It gives you getting shit done. That's good. So let's say working at a startup is it in the world? Is it in the United States? Is it I would say it's
Definitely
on
on
Keller
Keller
Street.
Street.
So I'm going to say I'm into that, baby.
Yeah.
And look, it's going to add it to the list. So what I don't know if this is going to have any traction at all. It's just a fun thing to play with for a little while. And if you can get in and get a beta, if you go to Google+, both Sean Bonner and Robert Scoble have put invitations up.
It's AMEN?
GETAMEN.com. And this is a beta version of their iOS app. It's an iPhone app.
That's fun.
This is the best place. So there it is. There's the website.
I love it.
It's kind of...
Gosh, I'm playing around with an app that it does not graphically resemble this at all.
Yeah.
But the idea is...
Kind of the same?
Well... I
How about this one?
I will show it off when I can.
Oh, it's a beta.
It's in stealth right now, but yes, and then you'll see what I mean.
It's an interesting idea. It's a kind of Mad Lib's way of expressing opinions. Here, Sean Bonner has said, "Could you grab some nuts?" is the best sentence to hear at a health food store ever, and then you could either say "Amen," along with 12 other people, and I think I am going to say
I
"Amen."
don't get is that a joke? I don't get.
It's a joke. Don't worry
Okay.
about it. Safety, is that the best dance ever?
Yes.
So let's say, Amen,
Amen.
brother, Amen. Michael Jordan is the worst baseball player ever. I think that's actually pretty accurate.
No, I am.
No, should we say Sarah
You didn't say
Lane?
Major League.
Let's say Sarah Lane.
I mean,
So let's see if you're
I'm
in here.
left-handed, and it doesn't even matter which way I hit.
I wonder if you're
That's
in
how bad
here.
I am.
Sarah, it's got Sarah Vaughn, Sarah McLachlan. Sarah Lane. I wonder if it's
people are
going
in
to
the
find you.
database for all sorts of reasons.
Look at that, TV actor Sarah Lane. I
I'm
think
not
that's
a TV
you.
actor. I'm a person.
You're acting and
I'm
you're
not
on TV.
no, I'm a person.
I think that's who they mean. Oh, unless they mean that person, the other Sarah Lane.
There are many of us.
So Sarah Lane
We're
is
all
the worst
people.
player. Now, see what I put on here? Sarah Lane's the worst baseball player ever, not Michael Jordan.
Thank you, Leo.
Isn't this fun?
I just wanted to be right. Yes,
Now, I
it
have
is
a
fun.
feeling that in 5 days you can ask me about Amen. I'll say, what? But for right now, it's just kind of a silly social thing to do. And
Yeah.
It's kind of a fun game. You can also do songs. New York Yankees, best baseball team ever. Or no, let's not say New York Yankees. Let's say something else. Let's say, I
Yeah,
don't
like
know.
you could be like 2007 was the best year for the Yankees
Let's
ever.
say
I have no idea if it was or not.
We'll do Dexter, the
Best
TV
show.
is the best TV program ever. Amen, baby. And now I've added that to the list.
I think that I
Isn't
would
that fun?
disagree with you.
Oh, well, then
Dexter's
you should
fine.
you
but
should
it's
go in
not
and say hell no.
Better than Breaking Bad or Mad Men. I was going to say Sopranos, and I thought, I have to let that go. That
It's
show's
time to
been off
let it
the air
go.
for a while.
Time
It's
to
still
let it
better
go.
than Dexter, though.
And Web2483 says this app sucks. So we could say right now, I have a strong opinion about this thing. I could say Amen. Let's do it. Amen. And of course, it will know about Amen. The film, the band, the thing. Amen is the worst thing ever. Amen.
But, okay.
Wasn't that fun?
I enjoyed that. Chat room, you see, we do care.
We listen.
Finally, I just wanted to mention that Formspring, good old Formspring.
They have an app?
They have an app, yes.
Now, Formspring was competing with Quora. This is the same
Sort
idea,
of.
question and answer site.
Although they're really not very similar. Formspring is a lot more similar to Tumblr's built-in Ask Me Anything feature,
Right.
which
You
rolled
mean,
out.
Reddit.
No, I'm talking about Tumblr.
Tumblr hasn't asked me anything, too?
Yeah, which rolled out very soon after Formspring launched, and everyone was linking Formspring questions to their Tumblr profiles. So you were getting all these questions, and Tumblr said, "Ugh, let's just do this ourselves," or it just turns into kind of like this weird imported service. But the idea is that anyone can sign up.
So these are people asking you real questions?
Well, we're looking at my profile. So yes, these are questions that people. Well, actually, no. We're looking at my
I wanna
homepage.
get
But
this.
if you do look at my profile, these are all questions that people, most of the time anonymously, because I've allowed that. But sometimes it's people that I know have asked me. Now, the problem with Formspring, it has nothing to do with the app. This is, of course, my news feed. Laura Gluhonic is a friend of mine. Aude,
website-
who's the founder of Formspring.
Oh, is he really? Oh,
Yeah.
right.
We had him on Net at Night back in the day.
Yeah, I like Ida. Formspring.me is the website.
That's right.
But I like having an app.
I think Formspring.com also forwards there now. The problem I have with Formspring, and this has nothing to do with the app because I think the app actually works really well, looks nice.
It is an iPhone only, not iPad.
Right, so I'm looking at it. But
I'm
again,
getting used to this. I'm getting used to this.
It's text.
Yeah.
It's like if for any reason it's... I looked at Windows 8 on Tom's Mac yesterday, and like the resolution was all off, and I was like, man, that's ugly. That was uglier than a blown up app looks on an iPad. I'm serious.
Yeah.
If it's just text anyway. I mean, sometimes pictures can be kind of a drag. The problem I have with Formspring is that with anonymous questions, which sometimes can be helpful because then people can ask you things
Personal
that they wouldn't
stuff.
want to ask you to your face,
Yeah.
you just get a lot of stupid stuff. And I just happen to have a lot of stupid questions asked me on a regular basis, and it's hard for me to come back to Formspring and have a good time doing it every day. But if you do like the service,
that's been my question about
and millions
Quora
do,
and Formspring. Is that's a lot of energy answering those questions?
Quora, though, is a little bit more of a let's crowdsource this specific question that someone has. Let an expert answer.
Because many people can answer one question. Formspring, it's to you specifically.
Yeah, it's a very much sort of a vanity service.
Difference. That is a difference.
And the problem is that you could say, I'm going to ask, what's your favorite color to all of your 1,100 friends. So it starts to feel kind of spammy.
Right.
You have to turn off email notifications and things like that. And I think when you have anonymous questions for people, they ask you about your underwear a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
They've never asked me about my underwear.
It's just,
That's
it's like that. It always goes back to underwear. And
what do they ask you about your underwear?
Just like, what color is it?
That's so sad.
Yeah. Do you have any?
Do you have any? Like, is it available for sale?
Well, no. Just like maybe you're not. Maybe you're not wearing them.
Are you commando?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like
exactly.
that. That's the problem. I think for a well-known woman on this site would not be a good idea.
Well, and again,
it's not its fault.
The service is it's all what you make it. So you can block people who questions you want to get from again, or you can just delete questions, and you can say I don't want anonymous questions. Too bad, too sad. You definitely have to have a profile that it links back to. You have a lot of options with Formspring. I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with them, but I still am using the site regularly, and now you can use it on your iPhone or your iPad, and it's completely free. The whole service.
I think it's commendable that you actually answer people's questions. I have well over 1,000 outstanding questions on Formspring, and it's just,
and a lot of them are going to be in Portuguese.
Really?
Yes.
It's very popular.
They have a lot of, I assume, big in Brazil, Portuguese Formspring users.
Really?
So there you go. For any links to the apps that we mentioned, and again, the social space
really just kind of killed it.
The underwear, and then
no, the
like,
Portuguese.
Oh, I love Portuguese. It's a tough one. You know who speaks Portuguese?
The girl from Ipanema?
And David Prager.
Prager speaks Portuguese?
I know.
Wow.
Somebody said, you know who speaks Portuguese? Prager. I said, he does not. He speaks Spanish. And he goes, no, I don't. I speak both. So what can he do?
So I have more than 1,000 questions in my Formspring inbox.
Well, you might want to look through them on a rainy day and answer a few. Some of them, all the stuff that has to do with Twit or, just intelligent questions about, I don't know, tech or social media and stuff. I love that. So that's kind of why I go back.
You're right. This is some strange language.
The social space is vast. We can only cover a few apps, but for the ones that we did cover, there's a lot of good stuff in there. If you missed anything, definitely visit us at twit.tv/IPT. That's our show website where you can watch all the show archives. We've got links to everything that we talk about. Anything that you missed.
Love it.
It's all there. And, of course, you can subscribe, too. I mean, subscribing is just a click away. And then you can watch us on demand whenever your heart desires. We also have audio feeds. So if you are the sort of person who says, you know what, I just like to imagine what those apps look like when you talk about them, we don't even mind. Go for it. That's fine, too. So visit us at twit.tv/IPT. And a reminder that if you're not watching us live, it's really fun because then you can participate and chat and we talk back to you and get good feedback live. But we are live every Thursday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern, 1:30 Pacific.
Pacific?
Yeah, Pacific.
Hey, this show brought to you by our good friends at Citrix. We've talked about GoToMeeting, which is on the iPad, and now GoToMyPC is on the iPad, too. This is remote access that is so cool. Imagine accessing your Mac or your PC at work anywhere you are with your iPad. I mean, this is, just the coolest thing ever. You could be using Windows on your iPad, basically. All you have to do, the app is free. So there's a couple of ways you can do this. You could go to the website, go to mypc.com, click the Try It Free button, or you could go to right there, and the app code, the offer code is iPad, or you could go to the App Store, get the Go to My PC app first, and then do it. The problem with doing it this way is you still have to go to your desktop then install it. So we start with your desktop. It works on Windows. It works on Mac. Of course, you need an internet connection, and it's just spectacular. Often people use it at work because they don't want to, when they're traveling, they want to be able to clear emails, or maybe they forgot the PowerPoint presentation or whatever. You can copy files. It's just, you can run any program, access any network resource, you can send and receive email, all from the luxury of your iPad. Talk about an easy way to carry your work with you. So if you haven't tried it yet, visit gotomypc.com, click the Try It Free button, use the offer code IPAD, and that'll give you 30 days free of Go to My PC. Completely secure. And
I think your camera's shaking. You got a shaky camera. At first I was like, the iPad stand's shaking, but I think it's the camera.
Yeah, you know why? The air conditioning's on.
Oh, right.
A little bug in the studio.
We hung everything from the AC units. I was
knew?
like, what? Is this a very small earthquake? No, it's just the AC.
We'll fix that.
Well, I'm comfortable at least,
I'm glad you
temperature-wise.
Hey, there's something especially exciting about it right now.
Oh,
the Go to
yes.
My PC offer, we're giving away an iPad 2. So, here's the deal. If you want to win an iPad 2, you have to tweet. So, enter to win a free iPad 2. I'm going to read this because I want to get this right. By sending a tweet, the hashtag is, in fact, could you add this to the lower third, Chad? Hashtag iPad Today Free. All one word.
iPad Today Free.
IPAD.
I can remember that.
TODAYFREE. Now through September 20th. So you only have maybe a week to do this, maybe even a little bit less. iPad Today
5
Free.
days.
5 days. And then, of course, try Go to My PC, the free trial, and just keep watching Twitter to see if you're a winner. Somebody will win. We'll announce the winner next week. That's why it's 5 days.
If you're at all interested in all the official rules, we will also have a link to those in our show notes for this episode.
All the legalities there, but it's pretty
That's right.
straightforward. Just
An iPad 2.
tweet something like, I want an iPad 2, Leo.
All of you people
Hashtag
who write
iPad
us
Today
each
Free.
week, either saying, love the show, but I don't even have an iPad, or love the show, should I get an iPad 2? I only have first gen. You got to do this.
You'll
No
be glad.
excuse.
You'll be glad.
You will. Absolutely. So guess who's making iPads? We mentioned Brazil earlier.
Yeah.
Brazil.
Obrigado.
Yeah.
They're making iPads in Brazil? I thought they were made in China.
Well, the deal is that, this is okay. So this is according to a report by a Brazilian website called Yoel. The Brazilian Minister of Science and Tech confirmed during the hearing with the Commission of Electronic Affairs in Brazil, new factory in a place called Jundiaí is already making iPads for December shipping, and this is a joint effort between the Brazilian government and Foxconn.
I think that's great.
Foxconn, of course, makes, the majority of Apple products, certainly iPads. It's been reported that Foxconn invested $12 billion in making the factory in Brazil.
Amazing. This is the company that makes iPads, and they've got $12 billion to build a new factory.
Exactly.
That is a vote of confidence for the success of the iPad.
And not only that, but they had already hired, even back in June, short of close to 200 engineers, brought them over to China so they could learn how to make iPads.
Wow.
Which is scary because you figure it's like, this is the place where people are worked so hard that they sometimes kill themselves.
Wow.
So let's hope that the conditions for all those Brazilian workers are going to be stellar.
That is great.
But it is.
I'm glad to hear it because there's a country with a lot of workers that could use a little economic boost.
You got it.
It's the powerhouse of South America.
And with shortages the last time around, remember how hard it was to get an iPad if you hadn't gotten one right away? We were some of the lucky people who got ours on opening day.
Well, I also bet that Foxconn's pretty busy making the next generation iPhone.
That
They
too.
maybe thought maybe we could have get a hand.
And Apple just does not want to have a reason for any of their sales to slow.
Right.
So there you go. iPad Brazilian factories, they are go. We got an Ask Leo question. I know this is a little left field because I don't think we've talked about anything like this before. And this is from Anonymous. I'd like to keep track of the hours that I work. Leo, do you know of any apps I could do to achieve this? I want it to be iPad and iPhone, both, if possible. What I want to do is keep track of at least 2 different hourly rates, overtime, holidays, bi-weekly pay periods, that sort of thing. I'd like to be able to set a default work schedule for each day and be able to tweak it from there. And I've looked, and I'm overwhelmed with all the choices. Is there anything that stands out to you as a good option?
I'm guessing that they, first of all, the first question I would say is, what do you want to do with the information that this tracker is tracking? Do you want to get it into your boss? Do you want to invoice with it? That's something to think about. I'm going to recommend a program called My Hours from Jeffrey Jones. It exports to a spreadsheet, so that's pretty universal. If you can export it to Pages or Excel,
you can take it anywhere.
Then you could probably give it to your boss or anybody. This will track hours. It will track shifts. It syncs to calendars, including your device calendar, which is kind of neat. Track hours by week, hour, month, and then yearly totals by job or by location. And you could, and it does have the overtime calculation and all that stuff. This has an iPhone and an iPad, so version. That's the iPhone version we're looking at. So I think the answer is this is the one I'd recommend. It does have 5-star reviews. I mean, I think it's a very popular choice. My Hours. I should mention though that we have a sponsor. FreshBooks that also has a time tracking app.
That's true.
And so that's why it's important to think about what am I going to do with the hours that I track. If you're putting them in an invoice, FreshBooks is the way to do it.
Exactly.
And that's free for up to 3 clients. So freshbooks.com would be the other recommendation. And they have an iPhone app that works fine on the iPad as well.
I get the sense that they're just trying to keep track of the money coming in more than anything else. But it does sound like if you've got 2 different hourly rates, you're working overtime on a regular basis, you're getting paid bi-weekly, or I understand that. Yeah, so it's like it sounds like there's some organizational
I think My Hours
well.
does what he asked for, in my opinion.
You heard it here.
Yep.
My Hours. Hopefully that helps you. We have an accessory of the week. Well, it was actually it started out as an accessory question. All right. So the question is, I have an original iPad I use for a lot of things, including recording and taking notes during meetings. Looking for a bag that can become my everyday bag that can hold the iPad plus accessories plus the Apple keyboard. I bring that with me, but I don't want anything too casual. And I actually thought to myself, okay, well, it was like as I was reading the email, I thought, oh, I know exactly where I'll send her Timbuktu, because that's the iPad bag that I use.
Those are great. But they're bike messenger bags.
Exactly. I think that as soon as I saw casual, I think what she wants is something that's a little bit more businesslike and a little bit less cutesy colors or throw over your shoulder and get on your bike type of a thing. So I actually went to Toomey. They have kind of high-class luggage, and thought, well, what does Toomey even have? I never even thought of Toomey as a place to grab anything iPad related. And I found a couple of links actually to a couple of products that she might like. Now, this is something called Alpha. You can click through those little images on the side. I wouldn't say it's fancy. I mean, it's a synthetic material, but it definitely has more of that office-y briefcase kind of a look. This is something that a small laptop plus an iPad could go into, but it's specifically made for that. And it's $99, so it's cheaper than what my messenger bag was. And I thought that was maybe a good look. There was also, if this was a woman who wrote us in, for whatever reason, I didn't write down anybody's names in the show, I'm sorry. I thought, okay, well, maybe that she wants something a little bit more
Georgetown, that's
hotsy-totsy.
Yeah.
This is the Georgetown, and this is almost $400, so this is a whole different price point. But it's also got more going on. You can, as you can see, there's like a keyboard and an iPad cover that you could fit into the bag. I mean, that looks like a really fancy, classy bag.
Can I make a
like
recommendation?
An attaché case. Well, of course, Leo. These are just 2 that I found, in a quick search.
But this is in the bag.
Okay.
You've heard of Zagg, Z-A-G-G? They make iPad accessories. Look at this. Logitech sells this for $99. So she said she wanted the keyboard and everything.
She wants the bag to have an iPad, a keyboard, and some cords.
She may still want all that, but let me show you this, because this could go with the bag.
Okay.
It looks like an iPad case, right? But a little bit thicker. And you know why it's thicker? Watch this. I'm going to push the button. Open it up, and a keyboard pops out.
Hey.
It's a Bluetooth keyboard inside the iPad case. It folds back up. Very compact. That is cool. $99. Logitech sells it. Z-A-G-G is the manufacturer. Zagg probably sells it directly as well. So you wouldn't need such a big case if you of had something like this. That's very compact.
The Apple Bluetooth wireless keyboard
it's pretty compact.
Pretty compact.
But
it's got a little bulb on the edge.
Look at this. Look at this. You wouldn't even know I had a keyboard if I'm holding that. It's got a stand here.
But you still need the bag to put it in.
And this puts your iPad up at an angle, too.
Yeah, that's great. I love that. Cool? That's really awesome.
Yeah, Tony Wang lent me this, so that's pretty. That's another alternative.
These are all
the
iPad laptop netbook hybrids that I keep hearing about. That's pretty much all that is. Just put your tablet in there, and all of a sudden you got a hybrid.
They have it in silver as well as black.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Any word on price?
$99. $99.
Yep. So there you go.
And it
you could get that first Toomey bag plus your converter, ditch your keyboard, and it's a wonderful holiday gift.
And this one's for iPad 2, although they had one for iPad 1, I think, as well.
It's probably just a little deeper.
Yep.
So hopefully those are a couple good suggestions. And by the way, I mean, the whole Toomey thing was, I thought, what's something that seems classy and kind of old school to me? And I think if there was any brand, if you feel like I have a favorite luggage brand.
That Georgetown looks good.
Doesn't it look nice? Yeah, I mean, it's.
But for $400
Yeah, you have to really want it. But I think. Most of the luggage makers that they weren't hip to the whole iPad craze at first, now realize, we got to start making stuff that's all good for this. What's going on with your pirate chest?
There are a lot of apps, aren't there?
Yes,
Three-quarters of a million or something. So if you're an app maker, it's very difficult to get people's attention.
Right.
So many of us, people who covered apps, got this pirate chest in the mail. Let me show it to you here up close. In the mail yesterday.
Many of us. Certainly not all of us, because I never got.
Well, look at this. You open it up. It says, "R, me land-loving Leo." And it plays music. It's got a little R. It comes with a little skull, a little jewel. And it's promoting, and look at a little map. It's promoting a new iPad app called Powder Monkeys, which I don't know anything about. But you could better believe, would you like a gold coin? You'd better believe that when it comes out.
Yes, actually, if it's made of chocolate, I do.
And then they even give you
I was about to say, I'm not swayed by these clever little marketing schemes, but there is chocolate.
Look, this is amazing, the degree. And look at, for you, Sarah, a 80-carat diamond.
That doesn't make up for the fact that I was snubbed. I was snubbed of my own treasure chest.
I'll give you the treasure chest here.
Give me the treasure chest. Thank you.
Yours.
That's what I wanted. My chest.
Anyway, but
a delicious gold coin.
We've seen this all along. That if you write for tech, you get also every once in a while you get something really weird. But I think that's good. Good. You enjoying yourself?
Not sure that's chocolate. We'll see.
Oh, I forgot to mention, I never eat things PR people send to you. You just don't know.
That could have been from an Easter basket in 1985.
Or Rufinol.
Or that. Or I've been roofied. Joke's on me. Or you, actually, because this was your... All right. It's actually pretty good. We also got an email. This is freaky. Email from Alex. He's Alex Paul on Twitter. He says... I'm just writing to inform you guys. My iPad 2 got snatched from me on a New York subway a few weeks ago in New York City.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was my fault that I was reading. I was oblivious to my environment on the subway. But I'm just writing to inform you guys, my fellow New Yorkers, to be vigilant. Well, and anywhere you're...
To be what?
To be vigilant.
Vigilant. Vigilance if they live in the village. Yeah, okay. Just checking.
It's funny. I'm like... Vigilant?
Right.
No, now. Oh, yes, vigilant. Thank you. On the subway with their devices, as snatching is on the rise, I didn't find my iPhone installed, so the police nor Apple were not able to triangulate the device.
That's a good tip. Right now, please open your app, your iPhone or your iPad and turn Lost My iPhone on.
Yeah, it doesn't even cost anything.
You don't have to be a Mobile Me member.
Chad, why don't you pull up that New York Post article? They wrote up an article about this poor guy. He tried to get his iPad back and he hurt himself. He got meniscus, which I think is like a knee.
Don't mess with your meniscus.
Yeah. Isn't that the saddest? Alex.
You know what? You could get another iPad. You can't get another meniscus.
Right.
So don't, please,
Meniscus transplants are very complicated.
Jeez.
And
it takes about 150 menisci to make one human meniscus.
And 150 years for your body to stop rejecting it.
Turn on Find My iPhone. It's free. It comes with it, and it works really, really well.
We're sorry, Alex.
And I'm a close family member. My daughter got a little fender bender.
Yes, I remember.
And she had her iPhone plugged in, to the socket.
Yeah.
And we don't know what happened, but the police think that the iPhone went flying out the window when the car stopped suddenly. We never found it. And I just bought it 2 weeks earlier. I had neglected to put Lost My iPhone on it.
So it's
in a bush somewhere.
Isn't that weird?
And if I had turned that on...
And you tore apart the car looking for it?
Oh, yeah, it's not in the car.
It's not in the car.
The police say, no, it happens all the time. Because the other window's open.
Right.
It's like a projectile.
Well, and she's not thinking about that because she's thinking about the person who,
Yeah, that's right. You shook up.
Rear-ended.
You shook up. You got a little rear-ended. No, she wasn't going that fast.
Well, find my iPhone.
Yeah.
You got no excuse.
Turn it on.
I left mine in a bush in Golden Gate Park once. And
I don't want to know.
I needed a private moment, and the iPad fell out of my pocket. And I came home, and 2 hours later, I realized, oh, no. And I used Find My iPhone, and indeed,
It worked?
was
You found
in
it?
the bush where I was last.
That's great.
Isn't that great? So now
How
you know
long-
more than you ever wanted to know about what I do in the bushes.
No, we don't, in fact.
City parks.
There's multiple...
Oh, there's more, but you already know too much. All right, let's go to Max, who needs a new book.
Hi,
Oh,
Sarah and
look at him.
Leo. My
Hi.
name is Max.
Hey, Max.
I was wondering what is your favorite book on the iPad for kids?
Favorite
so
book
many
for
good choices.
kids. I know.
They recently had a sale. I don't know if it's still going on all the Dr. Seuss books, 99 cents. That was a great deal because the Dr. Seuss books are very well done on the iPad. Do you have a favorite?
Well, my favorite was The Places You'll Go, which we
love
talked
that.
about.
We talked about that. That's a Dr. Seuss
That's
book.
a Dr. Seuss classic. Although one of my newest favorites is Morris Lessmore, which was the book.
Yeah, we talked about that too.
Yeah, it was one of my app caps, I believe. Was it my app cap? I'm not sure if it was an app cap or if it was just something that I featured. The actual title is The Fantastic Flying Books of Morris Lessmore, which was made by a former Pixar animator. And it's just...
That is spectacular.
Yeah, it's just a beautiful, very interactive book. Although kids have options for if they want the book read to them, if they want that off, if they're getting good at reading. So you can change the voice. But the whole book is like this animated, very Pixar-y kind of experience, and I love anything like
that's
this.
so neat.
Really cute. So I mean that would be a really that would be a recommendation from me, Max. You also might want to
Alice
check
in
out
Wonderland is good. There's that's one of the very first animated books I saw in there. It's probably not as good as it seemed at the time because it was when the iPad first came out, but they did a nice job with that, I thought. But I would say the Dr. Seuss books, almost all of them are really, really great.
Well, because Dr. Seuss is it's ageless.
Yeah, and it makes for...
But we didn't have iPads when we were kids, so Max, go nuts with Dr. Seuss. You'll learn a lot about green eggs and ham.
Sam I am.
And more. Reminder that we want to hear from all of you. You can write us. iPad today at twit.tv. Thank you so much for all your emails. And I'm sorry we can't always get to them, but we do read them all. Leave us a voicemail at 757-504-IPAD or 4723. If you prefer all numericals or for extra points, send us a video like Max did. It's really fun to see everybody who watches the show, and we love to feature all of you. So just make sure you send us a link where the video is so we don't have to download any attachments. And we thank you in advance. Love to have all of you participating. You're the best.
TIA. Now it's time for the portion of the show in which Leo sees how long he can get to sleep on the couch. This is where I fire up my Sling Player Mobile and take control away from my wife.
I see. I was like, where are we going? There we are.
You see, another authorized user is viewing this Sling box. Do you want to disconnect the user? Oh, yes, I do. Sling Player Mobile is awesome. So here's the deal. You get a Sling box for your home. You connect it to your TV, your DVR, your satellite, your cable box, all of the stuff in your home. And now you can see what's on your home system on your iPhone, your iPad, your PC, your Mac, your Windows, your iPod Touch with Wi-Fi. You've got access to the DVR, so you can record shows. You can change the channel. You can see what's on your recordings. I mean, you can even go back to live video, which I'll do right now. I know I'm going to get a phone call in a moment or two from Mrs. Laporte, so
She wants to watch Mob Wives.
she probably is.
It's a great show.
Yeah.
I
Anyway.
don't disparage the Mob
Notice
Wives.
we've got it hooked up to the dish box, but you can hook it up to anything that's in your home TV system. And then when you're on the road, when you're in the bathroom, when you're down the hall, when you're at the game, if you're going to the big game, the football game or the baseball game, and they don't show the instant replay because they're afraid riot will break out in the stands, don't worry. You got your iPad, you got your Sling box, you're ready to watch the game.
I was at a Giants-Dodgers game last Friday, right? Giants lost.
I'm so jealous. How fun.
It was still a fun game. Yes, there was a lot of heckling going on.
Wouldn't you have
but
loved
there
to
was
been
a
able to-
bad play.
See?
And everyone said
And they're not going to show it on the Jumbotron.
Yeah, I want to see that replay,
No.
and they don't want to show it, especially with a crowd like that, because everybody was yelling at each other
And
anyway.
You know what's great? AT&T
Could
Park
have
has
done that.
Wi-Fi. I never go to AT&T Park without my iPad and my Slingbox.
Right.
I always have the game on because it's just great. So you're never blacked out. You can always watch whatever you could see at home. You don't pay any additional fees because you've already paid for it all. All you need is a Slingbox. You can get one at Best Buy or just go to slingbox.com to find out more. Everybody who has one of these will sing its praises. We all agree, Slingbox the greatest. Slingbox.com/twit.
Can I ask a delicate question? You know how back in the day when you brought a magazine into the bathroom, it became a bathroom magazine, never
doesn't
to
ever
exit
leave.
the bathroom because it's been tainted?
Right.
What do you do with iPads? You spray it down, or you just, what do you do?
Bottle of Lysol and some clean wipes. And
All right.
You're ready to go.
Let's just all make sure that we're...
But I wouldn't bring it in a bush
Taking
with you if I were
precautions.
you. I'm just saying.
Listen, it's different when you're in the wilderness, okay?
Wilderness. Golden Gate Park is not the wilderness.
Yes, it is. There are buffalo in Golden Gate Park, okay?
If that's what you call
And
it.
sometimes you just gotta go. I'm a woman. All right, moving on to the App Cap Awards. This is part of the show with Leo and I.
on. I got to put my hat on. Here we go.
I very appropriately am wearing my Pablo Sandoval hat.
Yes, this is a sports-themed app cap.
It is.
That's from Candlestick. No, I'm sorry. That's from AT&T Park.
That's right.
That's the
Formerly,
Pablo.
it was, yeah,
Big
Candlestick
Panda.
before Panda was playing.
Big Panda.
And you,
This is
did
Candlestick.
Lisa give that to you?
She did. She got it at the 49er game.
Lisa and Liz went on
Lisa,
Sunday.
how did you know that?
Because
And
they
they-
were taking Instagram pictures. And they looked like they were having a lot more fun than I was having, hanging out looking at Instagram.
A lot of fun.
Apparently so.
Apparently a
Oh,
great deal of fun.
I was like, this photo series
You
is
should've-
going to get good.
You should have seen the outtakes because I saw them later.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, this is what they used to wear. Remember Leatherheads with George Clooney?
Can you believe they used to talk about concussions?
I know, crazy.
Nuts.
Crazy.
That is cool looking.
I love it.
You look amazing. You've
Well,
never
you-
looked better.
You think I look amazing now? Wait till you hear and see my app cap. But you start. You start.
I will start with an app cap.
Actually, I love this one.
This is a good one. And can I just say, it ends up happening to be the App Store's iPad Game of the Week. But I had this on my list since last week when a friend of mine tweeted, "Oh my gosh, this is such a beautiful game. It's called Machinarium." And now
such a
everyone
cool
else is
game.
hip to the game. But I just want you guys to know that I knew about it first. Well, second.
Actually, I knew about it first because I've been playing it for months. But okay, go
You
ahead.
have not.
Yes, I have.
You have?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Have you gotten to the end?
Nope. I got stuck.
You-
I got badly stuck.
and you know how you can like open up the
Actually,
key
this
and
just
everything?
came out on the iPad. I was playing it on a computer.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, this is not.
This just came out
This
on the
is-
iPad,
this is not months old.
this was available on the computer. I love this game, though.
Oh, it's
And look
so
how
good. It's
cool it
very
looks.
Wall-E like,
Yeah,
where it's like a little robot who kind of. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and resume a game because I've gotten into a few.
I got stuck.
I've gotten through a
fairly
few
early
levels.
on, yeah.
So the idea is that you're this little robot. You actually have to kind of construct yourself from nothing.
Isn't
Oh.
that cute?
What? I didn't have anything in
He
it.
ate some spinach.
But maybe this guy. So the idea is, yeah,
It's a puzzle. You
I'm
gotta
in a-
solve this puzzle.
Right. I'm in a new room. I don't really know what's going on yet. There's always stuff that you can take with you and collect along the way that will end up helping you out. You can also be tall when you need to like reach things. You can be really small when you need to kind of get under things. Or you can
gotten a
just
lot
kind of be
farther than
regular.
I did. This is not because I was stuck at like the
Now,
fourth
see,
or
I have a
fifth screen.
key, so I'm wondering, like, I wonder if that key would help me open up the door. And he'll shake his head, no. Like, that won't do you any good. So then, I can go ahead and walk up the stairs. Now, you say, like, well, this is kind of like,
You'll run into
I don't know.
helpers.
Yeah.
So there's something up there that you might want.
you run into helpers and you'll run into some nemesis. Let's press this red button and see what happens.
I just love the style. It's
Just turn the lights
it's
off.
Quirky.
That wasn't that exciting.
So you
or
can
I
see
can
they
look
don't
out the
give you- they don't
telescope.
give you a lot of help. Oh.
Ooh, what's going? Oh, something bad's going on. So these are the bad guys. Now here's what I think is actually kind of. Oh, that's so adorable. See, I'm getting caught up in like how adorable this is. So you get the nice thing is that it's a little sort of adventure game,
So
but
he's
there's all
learning-
sorts of
he's learning-
backstories.
He's learning something there. So
Yeah,
pay
no,
attention.
it's well, I for the purposes of this, I'll be like, so he's like, oh my gosh, holy crap, oh wow, I got to do some stuff. So it'll give you little hints like, hey, he wants to turn off the lights.
You did that.
Okay, I already did that. Now here's the thing. Let's say that you're in this room, you can't get out, and that happens eventually, where you're like, I have no idea what to do next. This is actually a genius way to basically get a key of the rules of the game, but they make it hard on you. So you have to actually play this little game. It's almost like a little asteroids game where you have to get past some spiders.
Oh, I
and
didn't
through
get to
some
this
bricks.
part either. Look at this.
Well, you've just never tried very hard, apparently.
No, I got really
shoot.
stuck
God.
with the web version of this.
Yeah, so this is, the idea is as you can see, it's not really that hard, and there's only about, I don't know, I would say 4 different games that it'll take you through. But the thing is that I really want to get through so you guys can see how helpful this actually is. You can't hit the chains, you can't hit the bricks, you got to kill the spiders. It's kind of a pain. Okay, so I'm just going to coast, kill some spides. Here we go. All good, coasting along.
This game was created in Czechoslovakia, and it has a very unusual, very unusual, quirky style to it. Which I just love.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of puzzle games. You know, it's kind of like
Mother.
Kind of like Myst a little
Mother
bit.
of Mary.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not going to do this to you guys any longer. You get the idea, but the whole point is when you get to the end, and I was really close at that point, the book opens and you get this illustrated kind of on almost it's almost like a sepia toned paper. All of the steps that you need to take to get to the next level, but it's like a little I don't know, some sort of a lost artist rendering. So you kind of look at it and it will tell you what to do, but even that you have to study for a while and go, okay, I got it. And then you go back, and then if you forget step 4, then you have to open up the book again and play these games. So it's like, oh man, it can be kind of frustrating. And it's time consuming, but it is really fun. I love it. Machinarium, or Machinarium, and that is by Aminata Design. It's $5, $4.99 in the App Store. I love it. By the way, one thing to remember, and you first-gen iPad fans are going to be bummed, it's iPad 2 only. So make sure you enter that Go to My PC little giveaway on Twitter, so you can get your iPad 2 and you can play this.
They are doing it for other platforms. I played it on Mac. Came out in 2008 or 9 on the Macintosh, but they're planning it for PS3 and Nintendo Wii.
So
it's really cool.
Great.
Yeah, really,
I really love it. And you know, you're a bigger gamer than I am as a whole, and I can't stop. I cannot stop.
No, it's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it's really good. So what's your sweet app that you were like, this is going to blow your mind, it's going to be so much better than everything you've ever seen before?
It's called VidRhythm, and I give credit to Brian Brushwood.
Okay.
Because he introduced this to me. It's from Harmonix. People do Rock Band.
Yeah.
So these guys are great.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah. So watch. Let me. I actually made a quick one. Should I play the one I made?
Yeah.
Or should I make a new one?
Well, play the one you made because it's great, and then you can explain how to do it.
So here is a little one I made of The Flight of the Bumblebee. It's a music video. With cats and jewels.
This is just like Burning Man.
Or something. This is... Now, you might say, oh, Leo, that must have taken you days and a lot of editing. And actually, I made this in about 30 seconds right before the show started.
Make it stop.
Okay. let's.
I felt like I was like sanity slipping.
Let's go back. Let's go back to the beginning.
How did you make such a beautiful masterpiece?
So here's the deal. We have a variety of choices. You start here. This is $3. Video Wall. Cats is the one I did.
Love that.
Color Scope. Dance Central. Doggy Town. Phase. The Golden Age. Rock Band. A Touch of Class. Let's do a Touch of Class. We'll do something a little bit more romantic. Oh, wait a minute. You know what? I got to go back. But even before Styles, I got to choose a song. So it even comes with a bunch of songs.
And you had chosen Flight of the Bumblebee.
I Like to Party?
Sure, why not?
Why not? I Like to Party. All right, we'll do I Like to Party.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good one.
Great.
Okay. And
Wonderful.
I think we should do this, maybe the Golden Age, because I'm an old style guy.
Right, yeah. You're
watch.
You're so Sinatra.
I'll turn this a little bit so that you can see what I'm doing here. So I have to sing the note.
And you have to unplug.
Yeah. I have to sing that note, so I'm going to unplug this so I can record it. Let's do that again.
This is awesome.
Okay.
You You know, with the whole hat you're wearing and everything.
Shh, shh. Quiet, quiet.
Okay.
Shh, quiet.
I'm just saying.
2. I'll move fast now. It's only one note. Party. This is my favorite one.
I don't think you like to party.
This is my favorite one.
Right.
This is my favorite one.
Okay.
Here we go.
All right.
Woo! And then here's another one. Ready? Okay. Now we're ready to make a music video, ladies and gentlemen. Let me plug it in. Wait a minute. Hold on. I think you really want to get all the goodness out of this that you could possibly get.
Don't you know where your jack
Are you
is
ready?
yet? Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Party. So you really don't need any talent?
No.
Creativity?
You need nothing.
Nothing. All right.
I mean, you could belch out a song and it would still be kind of fun. I love this. VidRhythm.
You could save it to your. You could save it out to your. You could send it on YouTube. You could save it to Facebook. This is just so much fun. There's so many of these and so many different styles and so forth. Let's try Color Scope. You want to do one with me? Let's pick a song. Let's do one together, and that's it. That's it. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good stuff.
Miami.
We could do it after the show so as not to embarrass ourselves further. Yeah.
Okay, you and I will do one.
We'll do it and we'll upload it to our website.
We'll upload it.
We'll tweet it out.
No, we'll tweet it. Then you retweet it and use the hashtag because you want to win, right?
Yeah,
use the hashtag #iPad Today Free when you retweet our video that we're going to send out.
Yeah, and you can just have to add that. You are such a genius. Not even funny. All right, so on that high genius note, that hat.
I like to party.
This was you. Party. Me.
Okay, you might want to put a little bit more oomph into it next time. I need some inspiration.
It was wonderful stuff. VidRhythm, $199. How
$199.
How is that not worth $2?
How could you go wrong?
That is worth $2.
Isn't that great?
Yeah. That was worth a few belly laughs, that's for sure.
I like to party.
And
just
with that,
remember that. That's the theme.
Right. Yeah. Because that's kind of what the show is.
Yeah.
It's a big party once a week. Thank you so much for joining our party this week on iPad Today. Leo, had a great time. Remember to subscribe a million different ways. Well, not a million, but 1,000 different ways.
On the internet.
At twit.tv/IPT.
And then, because we begin the show this way. When I flip it.
Okay. Ow! Bye-bye, everybody. Party.
I like
party.